Once you open up Splice, you'll then be asked to create a new project by hitting the plus sign. Give it a name. In this case, I'll call it Photos. And once the new project opens, there's some default project settings. You have the type of screen, you have the type of border, you have the default transition, the orientation, whether it's landscape or portrait. You can play around with those different settings. Once you finish the defaults, you'll have three choices: video, photo, transition, or title. Hit video photo to import your photos, then go to your library. In this case, I'll only be using still photos and show you kind of a slideshow type effect that you can use called the Ken Burns effect. Once you click done, it'll ask you if you want to add transitions between each photos. I usually say no and just do these later. It won't take long, and they'll populate the project with your photos. Click on the first photo and click on the little pencil in the middle, and you have different choices. That first choice is where you can either crop or do the Ken Burns effect on the photo. Cropping is where the photo is still and you just want to resize or change, zoom in, move the photo around on the screen. Ken Burns is there's a starting point on the photo and an end point on the photo and a duration of time that the photo will move from starting to ending point, and you can rearrange the photo, move it around the screen, recrop it, and then push play and see how the photo moves. Obviously, the shorter duration, the faster the photo will move from point A to point B, the longer duration. On the second photo, I'll do another example of the Ken Burns, the first option there. Pick another starting point, another ending point. Here on the third photo, I'll choose the second tool, which is the effects tool. That allows you to change the photo. In this case, I'll use black and white, but you see there's different choices. The photo itself doesn't change there in the preview window, but it will. Then you can also do other effects to the same photo, so I'll also do the Ken Burns effect, even though I've also done the black and white effect to the photo as well. The third effect is to duplicate the image, and then the fourth tool is to delete the image. And you'll see those illustrated, and then I'll go ahead and finish out doing another Ken Burns effect. Once you've altered the photos the way you want it, next is transitions. Click the plus between the photos, and you can choose between a variety of different transitions between them. This is how the transitions from one photo to the next, and you'll see the different choices that you can play with. To preview the slideshow, top right corner, click Preview, and it'll take a minute, but you can watch what you've done so far. You just hit play in the middle, and it'll show you the slideshow as edited to this point. Next, you'll see when you go back to the project that up at the top it has video and audio. If you click on audio, you can then start altering the audio of the movie. You'll have two choices. You'll have the Splice library, and you'll have your own iPod library. If you have tunes in your iPod, then you can use those. And then Splice also has some free songs that you can use in sound effects. You can also purchase songs and sound effects from both, I'm sure. If you click on the green audio bar, you can then edit the audio. You can fade in, fade out, change the volume. You can cut, splice the audio. If the video itself had its own audio, if you're using video shots, you can also click on that audio and either make it louder or softer, or fade in, fade out. You have two 3 audio tracks total. Well, 4. One that's native to the video. You have 2 song or sound effect tracks, and then there's the 4th track is a recording track that I'm actually using to do this dubbing. Once you have all the audio tracks, you can then manipulate them, move them around, change where they start, where they end. It's a very flexible tool for maneuvering the audio tracks.
This is a test, only a test.
You notice with the audio tracks, you can put multiple sounds on each track if needed. Once you're done importing the audio and editing it the way you want, then you can hit preview and preview your project. When I preview this slideshow, you'll notice that it's in portrait mode. When you get done, you can always change this. You go back and there's a little gear in the top left corner, and you click on that and it takes you back to your default settings where you can alter the landscape versus portrait, the default transitions, all those initial settings. You can always change those later.
Test, only a test.
The last thing I'll show you is how to do titles on the 3 choices that you have: video, transition. The 3rd is title. You click on that and you can add titles. Titles are treated just like any other image. You can do transitions between them. You can do multiple titles. You'll also notice that once you type the title, you can move it around the screen, resize it. It's very flexible. When you're done with the project, hit preview, and then you can obviously watch the slideshow, or if you'll notice in the top right corner there's export. You click that when you're done with the project and you want to export it to your photo album. Once the video is in your photo album, you can then export it to Facebook or email it or do whatever you want with it, just as if you would do any other video or photo that you have in your photo album on your phone. Enjoy.
This is a test, only a test.